my friends, and welcome to the channel. So, Marker Zone has sent me some pens to review. Now these marker pens are chrome mirror finished permanent markers. They're supposed to be highly pigmented and good to use on any surface. Now obviously these are going to be great if you like doing sort of like letter work and like graffiti and all that sort of stuff. But are they actually really good for what we do in the hobby? Now I know there's probably not loads of uses for some of the chrome stuff, but you know, if you're doing vehicles, you know, tabletop minis, or even sort of wing mirrors, which I've usually used silver paints for, and I've used the sort of shiniest ones I can possibly get my hands on, but they're not really mirrored, you know. So we're going to try these pens out. I'm going to show you their sort of actual sort of use, and I'm actually going to see how good they are as they've suggested on minis using the pen. But I'm going to break one down and see what it's like to actually airbrush. So let's see how these how good these are. So grab yourself a brew and a bicky and let's go straight into it. Okay, so let's have a look at these chrome markers that Marker Zone have sent us. They are supposed to be a mirrored chrome marker. They do these in gold, and they also do a really cool one with it's chrome, and it actually gives you a coloured border, which is pretty cool. How they do that, I have absolutely no idea, but I think it's absolutely amazing. But these are supposed to be able to work on pretty much any surface and give you that high, you know, shine mirrored finish of chrome. Now I think this would be really good in the hobby because, you know, if you're doing stuff like you know, vehicles with wing mirrors, you know, you're going to want those obviously reflective. Now I know most of the time in the past I've used silver and very polished silvers, but they just don't really cut it. So I'm hoping that these will give us that mirror finish that, you know, mirrors should look like. So I'll try it out. I've got a bit of matte paper here, and we'll see how it flows. It's supposed to be very highly pigmented as well. So there we go. That works really nicely on a matte surface, which of course it's going to. I have already tried this out on some styrene and it sticks to that very nicely as well. It does go on there. Now what we need to do is let this dry off a bit and settle, and you know, it gives us that chrome finish, which it does. So I painted it onto this primed model, and if we hold the marker up to it, you know, we can see that reflecting, and you can pretty much see my lights in there behind me as well. So that is, I think, absolutely amazing. But the one thing I'd like to try out is how well does this go through an airbrush, and how well is it easy to clean up, and basically how does it look afterwards. So as they've sent me three, and I will apologise, I've butchered one to decant these out so we can try that. So let's get a model and see how it works. So here's the one test I've been looking forward to doing, and that's basically seeing how well this stuff goes through an airbrush and sort of how well it covers as well. What I've done is I've based the model in a black gloss paint, which will help, you know, the mirror chrome pop out a lot more. So it's really one of the best things to do if you want something to really pop out, and this is not just necessarily with chrome, but put a nice, you know, good gloss base coat down, and this should make, you know, make it all pop. So it does seem to go through the airbrush fine, and I haven't even thinned it at all. So let's see what happens. Right, so I finished painting and I am massively impressed. It's come out beautifully. It sprays really, really nicely. It cleans out the airbrush brilliantly as well, just using some normal, I'm just using Tamiya thinners. So that's, I'm using X20A. and it's cleared the airbrush beautifully. Actually pretty much just sits on top of the thinner, and it comes out brilliantly. Ignore the finish, it does spray. If you look at these sort of areas here, it does spray really flat. It's only the bumpy bits is my priming underneath. It wasn't very good, but I mean these areas here, you can see it's nice and flat where the paint underneath is flat. But I mean, just look at that, even just from my finger there, you can see how, you know, how reflective that, I'm not going to stick with my finger, that's how reflective that is. That is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to put that away somewhere where it's not going to get any dust on it, and let's see how it turns out in the end. So I thought while I had this in its sort of liquid state, I thought I'd give a go at see how it was for hand painting, and it actually works really well hand painted as well. It's pretty much the same as most paints, or it goes down the same as most paints. It goes down really nice and smoothly, and again, as long as you've got that gloss black base coating down first, this stuff will really pop out, and it is literally as highly pigmented as they say. As you'll see on the knee pads, you know, it is really, you know, really nicely reflective, and again, having that gloss black down there beforehand will help this, you know, a hell of a lot to get that really nice pop-in shine on it. So as you can also use it straight from the pen. You know, you don't necessarily have to do what I've done and break the whole thing apart just to get it, you know, just get at the liquid itself. You can use it, as I said, straight from the pen, and works absolutely beautifully, and goes down again really, you know, nice and flat, and giving you that, you know, nice mirrored finish. And as you can probably even see, just, you know, even when it goes down, you can see the pen nib reflecting there on the surface. So there we go, guys. I was massively impressed with these markers. They spray beautifully, and of course they work really well as the pen is what obviously they're intended to do. I did put some markings onto that Spitfire, which I'll show you in a minute. But I would suggest not to use any solutions, just use tap water to put your markings on, and you can use some micro sol on the end to soften them out, but just make sure you keep them on the decals. So I'll leave a link in the description to Marker Zone, and again, thank you guys ever so much for sending me these markers. They are genuinely amazing, and I will be using them on later projects. So I hope you guys have found this video useful, and if you have, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more stuff. I'm hoping to be rolling out a new starter series as well. So again, guys, thank you ever so much, and I'll catch you again soon.